Hi guys, Dana here. It's nice to see all of you here with me. Today we're talking about connecting phrases, especially in tasks 30 through 36. But before we do that, let's meet each other. If you haven't seen any of our streams yet, then here is a bit of information about me. I am a senior methodologist and teacher at the online school Учёба.ру. I graduated from MSLU, which is one of the best universities in our country on linguistics, right? And teaching as well. I have also an international teacher certificate, and well, I got 100 points for языку, which might be the most important fact about me to you. I'm also in love with English and with teaching it too. So let's enjoy this lesson together. I'm not alone. I am here with the online school Учёба.ру, and well, we have 12,000 graduates who passed язык and ОГЭ with the help of our school. 4,200 of those students got 80 plus for язык and a 5 for ОГЭ. Those students really did know what they were doing, right? We also got amazing teachers at our school. Some of them you can see on the slide right now. I think that's the Russian language teacher and social studies and math. But guys, all of our teachers are really great. Okay, we also have guaranteed entrance to university, but guys, and this is very important, only to those students who do everything that we ask of them, right? So if you do your homework, don't miss any classes, and well, if you prepare for 3 exams with us. We also have progress checks every month, which are very important for us as well as for you, because for us, well, it's a very good way to track your progress, to see what you need, what else you need, right, from us, what else we can give you. And well, for you, it's kind of the same thing, right? But also, it's a very good chance to practice, right, before your real exam. We also have different level groups, which is a very important feature for our English course because, well, at our school you can study at your own pace, right? Teachers grade their language if your level is not that great yet. And well, if you are an advanced learner, then of course you will receive the best English ever. All right. Moving on to our topic for today, we're talking about connecting phrases, right? And here on the slide, you can see the connecting phrases of reason. So when do we use all of these? Well, when we need to connect two sentences or two parts of a sentence, right? And one of those sentences or one of those parts is a reason for the other. All of these are great. Let's have a look at the list in more detail. Because of, which is actually different from just because, right? Quite surprising, but yeah, we will have a look at the differences in more detail in the next slide. Since can also be used as a connecting phrase for reason, which is quite surprising for a lot of students. We will have a look at how to use it in more detail a bit later. As can also be used as a connecting word for reason, owing to and due to. These last two are very interesting, and we're also going to have a look at how to use them. Let's do that, right? All the details of on how to use these words in a sentence, guys. Because needs a clause after it. A clause, just to remind you, if you don't know that word or if you don't remember what it is, a clause is just a subject and a verb, right, together. So if we have a sentence like, I don't know, I think you will pass the exam, then in this sentence, we got two clauses, right? The first one, I think, right? And the second one, you will pass, right? I is the subject, think is a verb, right? Think is our predicate here in this clause. But we also have the second clause, you will pass, right? You is the subject, will pass is the predicate, so that is a clause, right? So a clause is a sentence within another sentence. And because needs a clause after itself, whereas because of needs only a noun, right? You can't use a clause after because of. We will have a look at example sentences on the next slide so that it's, well, more clear. Next one, since. Since is very similar to because in usage because it also needs a clause, right? Subject plus verb. As works the same way. We need a clause after it. So subject plus verb. Owing to and due to, as I have already mentioned, are very interesting connecting phrases because after them we can use either a noun, right? Noun here, they work the same way. Or we need the fact that plus subject plus verb, so plus a clause. So if you want to use a clause after owing to or due to, you do need to add the fact that, because that's very important to remember, because otherwise, well, you got a grammar mistake, right? Now, let's have a look at all the example sentences. We'll take the same idea, but we'll put different connecting words and phrases for reasons so that you can see the difference between all of them, between how to use them. Oh, here we go. So, I didn't go to the park because it was raining. It was raining is our clause, right? We have it as a subject, was raining as the predicate here. So after because we use a clause, right? Got it. Then because of. I didn't go to the park because of the rain. And the rain here is a noun. Guys, you see the difference, right? We can't use a clause after because of or a noun after because. So we can't say I didn't go to the park because the rain. That sounds very strange and, well, grammatically incorrect. So because the rain is bad, right? We do not say that. Bad, right? But because of the rain works wonders, right? That's great. Next, I didn't go to the park as it was raining, right? Again, same way as because, right? We have it as a subject, was raining as the predicate, and so we got ourselves a clause, right? Yep. Since, again, is also, well, the same, right? We need a clause. It was raining. Since it was raining, so after since, we are using a clause as well. Next one, due to and owing to. I didn't go to the park due to the rain. Very similar to because of, actually, right? We're just using a noun after due to. Same way after owing to. I didn't go to the park owing to the rain. Yeah, it's quite a strange example, but still, grammatically, it's correct. But if we want to add a clause after it was raining, that's a clause, we need this beautiful thing, the fact that, right? I didn't go to the park due to the fact that it was raining. Sounds quite lengthy, right? Like too many words, but, well, grammatically it's correct and, well, why not, right? If you need more words in your written statement, that's the way to go. And owing to works the same way, right? We have the fact that, and then we have our clause. It was raining clause. Here we go. Right after due to and after owing to. The fact that. Do we have any questions here, guys? Any questions about the connecting phrases of reason? Well, let's see how well you got it. We are going to try it in the format of 30 through 36, right? Here, you got a sentence and you need to choose the best, well, not the best, but the only one correct answer, right? Let's see the sentence. The railroad stopped service to the snowfall the night before. Because to the snowfall, since to the snowfall, due to the snowfall, or as to the snowfall. Which one do we need here? Right, I can see Elizabeth's answer, 3. A person with a very strange name, but yeah, guys, that is a correct answer, 3. Due to the snowfall, absolutely. Because what? Because we have to after our gap, right? And, well, due is the only word that we can use with to. Also, after due to, we got a noun, right? The snowfall. And, well, that's just good grammar, right? The snowfall was the reason that the railroad stopped service, and due is the only option that fits grammatically. Due to, right? Okay, moving on. One more. We didn't make it to the party on Saturday. My brother had fallen ill. Due to my brother had fallen ill? Due my brother had fallen in, owing to my brother had fallen ill, or because my brother had fallen ill? What do you think? Right, guys, and you are correct again. Can you tell me why? Why is it because and nothing else? Right, there is no to, but yeah, what is this? My brother had fallen ill. Subject plus verb, so that's a clause, right? And, well, because is the only connecting phrase from this list where we can use, with which we can use a clause after. Yes, Елизавета, you're right. Целая грамматическая основа. Yeah, a clause. Yeah. Very good. Moving on. The train was delayed. Bad weather. Owing to bad weather, since bad weather, as bad weather, or because bad weather. Okay, Elizabeth, this is 1. Do we agree? Any other options? Well, I hope not, because Elizabeth is absolutely right. Owing to. Yeah, owing to is correct. Owing to bad weather. Why? Owing to bad weather. Because after our gap, we got only a noun, right? No clause. So what else could we put here? We can't use a noun after since, after as, or after because, right? And, well, actually, all of these 3 are synonymous, yeah? We use them the same way in sentences. So after owing to, we do need a noun, and that is grammatically correct here. Okay, Good job. We are moving on to result. Guys, all of these can be used as connecting phrases for result, right? So one thing led to another, and that another is our result, right? The result of the previous sentence. We can use all of these to express it, to connect, right? This phrase to the previous one. As a result, therefore, consequently, and please notice the pronunciation. The stress is here, consequently. So, thus, and hence. Guys, all of them are great, but again, they do have a couple of details, right, on how to use them correctly. Let's see. As a result, therefore, and consequently, we usually use them at the beginning of sentences, right? So we usually say, as a result, comma, blah, blah, blah. Therefore, comma, blah, blah, blah. And, well, the result is of the previous sentence, right? So what we say afterwards is the result of what we have said before, right? So usually connects two clauses, right? And, well, it is quite neutral, whereas thus and hence are very formal, right? So they can be used in very different contexts, but these two are quite formal, right? We don't hear them in just everyday speech. We do see them in books, in news, right? At conferences or, well, things like that, right? Formal situations. Okay. What else did I want to say here? Right, do we have any examples here? No. Okay. Right, so as a result, therefore, consequently, at the beginning of sentences, right, we usually use a comma after them. So to connect two clauses, yeah, so two parts of one sentence, thus and hence as formal connecting phrases. The next slide is about conclusion. And guys, all of these phrases are very useful to us in the written task 38, right? When we are writing our written statement. And of course, in our speech in speaking for example, very great to introduce your opinion with one of these phrases, right? In conclusion, to conclude, in summary, to sum up, or to summarize. All of them are great. And, well, yes, we use them as introductory phrases. The fact that we use them as introductory phrases means that we also need commas after all of them, right? And, guys, this is like one of the very few punctuation rules that you do need to show that you know, right, at the exam. So please do remember about commas after introductory phrases. All right, moving on to contrast. Guys, this is, in my opinion, the most interesting part of the connecting phrases because, well, you can see that there are lots of them here, right? However, although, despite, in spite of, nonetheless, nevertheless, while, whereas, yet, unlike, otherwise, quite a few of them, right? But we are going to, again, have a look at details, right? And how to use them and at examples so that we can better understand the differences between them and how to use them in our own speech. Let's have a look. However, always connects two sentences, right? So we have one sentence with a period at the end, and then the other starts usually with however as the first word. Although connects to clauses, right? So with although, we have to have contrast in one sentence. We will have a look at the differences between these two because a lot of students confuse them. Next, despite and in spite of. They are here with a slash because, well, they're very similar in use. The only difference between them is that after in spite we need of, right? And after despite we don't need anything. After both of them, we need a noun or a verb ing, right? Or The fact that plus a clause. This sounds familiar, right? Where else do we add the fact that? After which connecting phrases, guys? Does anybody remember? We studied them with reason, right? What other connecting phrases need the fact that to add a clause? Anyone? Right, due to. And one more. Okay, due to and owing to, right? Both of them, right, Lizette, thank you. Both of them need the fact that to add a clause. Yeah. And despite and in spite of are, well, the same, right? They work the same way, but they introduce contrast, right? Not reason. Okay, next, nonetheless and nevertheless. Those, of course, also introduce contrast, and we usually use them at the beginning of sentences. While, which you might know from studying continuous tenses, right? Like, I was doing my homework while my father was, I don't know, working in the garage, right? Something like that. But here, while can also introduce contrast. We will have a look at examples. It is quite interesting. Whereas, when it introduces contrast, it works the same way with while, but it's more formal, right? So we use that in formal contexts. And it's, well, actually a very good idea to use this in your written statement, right? Not a good idea to use it in your email because emails are informal. But yeah, the written statement is neutral. It should be of neutral style. And well, whereas works great there. Yet, introduces contrasts with surprise, right? Something like, uh, she says that she trusts him, yet she doesn't tell him everything, right? So it's contrast with like a hint of surprise. Unlike can also introduce contrast, and we need to use a noun after it. For example, something like, um, I work a lot, unlike my sister, right? So my sister, we have a noun there, right? Not a clause. And that means that I work a lot and my sister doesn't, right? Unlike my sister. Very simple word, right? To introduce contrast very like concisely. And otherwise. Otherwise is a very interesting word. It does not express contrast as directly as all the others, but it usually contrasts result with real life. We will have a look at examples again for you to understand this one better. Let's start with however and although, the differences between them. We have, my friends always invite me to their parties, period. However, I almost never go. So basically we have yes, period. However, no. All right, that's our contrast here. We have yes in the first sentence, then we have however, comma, no. All right, my friends invite me, I never go. With although, it works differently. We have, although my friends always invite me to their parties, I almost never go. It's one sentence, guys. So we have although, yes, comma, no. Right? Do you see the difference? So guys, they mean very similar things, but we use them differently in sentences, right? However, again, connects two sentences, and although connects two parts of a sentence, two clauses. Another example here. I like studying, period. However, I hate studying math, right? Again, yes. However, no, right? Contrasting ideas. And although I like studying, I hate studying math, right? Although yes, no. And it's two parts of one sentence. Do we get the difference? Any questions about them? We can't use however and although interchangeably, guys, okay? All right, if there are no questions, we are moving on. Here we go. Despite and in spite of, right? Just how to use them. They are very similar, but guys, please do remember about these prepositions, right? In spite of, but despite. Despite of is wrong. Do not use that. Let's say, I like my job despite the long hours. Despite and then noun, right? I like my job in spite of the long hours. Same thing, right? We have a noun after despite. We have a noun after in spite of. I like my job despite working long hours, right? We have a verb in here, which is also absolutely okay after despite and after in spite of as well. But if we want to add a clause, like in the last two examples, we have I work, right? That's a clause. Again, I work. That's a clause. We have a subject and a verb. Subject and predicate. Those are clauses, right? Here, we need to add something else. The fact that, right? Despite the fact that. In spite of the fact that. And only after that, we use a clause. Yeah. Despite I work long hours, nah, bad. In spite of I work long hours, again, doesn't work grammatically, but in spite of the fact that I work long hours, that's good. You can do that. Any questions here? Okay, if you do have questions, please do not hesitate to ask them, okay? Moving on to while and whereas. See here, they are with a slash, right? Because we can use them interchangeably. Whereas is more formal, but it means the same thing as while when we are contrasting things. I work 14 hours a day, while or whereas my sister does nothing all day. Say two contrasting ideas. I work long hours and she does nothing all day, right? Two contrasting ideas, and while or whereas right in between them, right? Connecting two clauses of one sentence. Whereas is just a bit more formal. That's it. Please also notice the pronunciation. Repeat after me if you can. Whereas, right? Not whereas, but whereas. 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 And another example here. Cheese is tasty, while or whereas cottage cheese is awful. All right, again, two clauses. We have cheese is, and cottage cheese is, right? Two clauses. My sister does nothing. I work 14 hours, right? Two clauses, and in between them we have while or whereas. Okay, I hope we got it, right? While doesn't only mean at the same time, right? But it also can express contrast. Moving on, otherwise, right? Here are the examples. I hope they are going to help you understand this word better. Close the window, otherwise we'll get cold. All right? Contrasting the result, yeah, of something. Close the window, otherwise we'll get cold, right? If you don't close the window, we will get cold. If you close it, we'll be fine. Go to the police now, otherwise they'll arrest you. If you don't go to the police now, they will arrest you, right? These are conditional, this is a conditional meaning of the sentence, right? Otherwise helps us create it. And another example, this is quite different. I really want to do this job well. I wouldn't be here otherwise, right? Again, contrasting the result. Yeah, I wouldn't be here otherwise. If I didn't want to do this job well, I wouldn't be here, right? But I do, and so I'm here. I wouldn't be here otherwise. All right, should we try it? Let's do it. Again, 30 through 36, right? But here about contrast. Dottie called her friend's mother Miranda, who was really pleased to hear her voice when she picked up the phone. Miranda was surprised to find out that Dottie wanted to talk to her, not her daughter. And we need to put into the sentence, although, however, despite, or while. Oh, what do you think? Okay, I can say too. So, however, Miranda was pleased to hear her voice when she picked up the phone. However, Miranda was surprised to find out that Dottie wanted to talk to her, not her daughter. Yes, guys, you're absolutely correct. However is correct here. We can't use anything else because we have an introductory however, then we have our comma, right? And however connects two sentences here, right? It contrasts what comes after it to the previous sentence. Yeah, very good. Moving on. Her qualifications, she wasn't the right person for the job. Despite, although, however, or nonetheless. What do we think? I think we should put a comma here. Okay, maybe one. Right. And there's a one too. Yes, guys, absolutely agree. Despite her qualifications, she wasn't the right person for the job. Because after despite, we only have a noun. Her qualifications, right? What comes after is our sentence. She wasn't, right? So we have despite plus noun. She wasn't the right person for the job, right? This contrasts the second part of the sentence, right? Okay, good job. Moving on. She felt cold. She was wearing a winter coat. Despite she was wearing, although she was wearing, however she was wearing, or otherwise she was wearing. What do we think? Okay, I can say two. She felt cold, although she was wearing a winter coat. Do we all agree? Well, I think we should. Although is correct here, guys. Why? Because we have it in the middle of one sentence, right? she felt cold, although she was wearing a winter coat, right? We have two clauses that are connected with although. She was wearing. And these two clauses are in contrast, right? Although does the trick. None of them, no other phrase from this list does the same thing, right? After despite, we need a noun. However, connects two sentences, and we have only one here. And well, otherwise, it's just very, very different, right? Otherwise, contrasts results, yeah, not real situations right now. Okay, good job. Well done. Moving on to addition, guys. Another set of connecting phrases that, well, is quite useful to make your speech more connected, right? More linked. Additionally, in addition to, which is quite similar. Moreover, furthermore, what's more, besides, also, and as well as. Again, they do have a couple of details on how to use them correctly. Let's have a look at those. Here we go. Additionally is usually used at the beginning of a sentence as an introductory word. So after additionally, we usually need to use a comma. In addition to is very similar to additionally, but please don't forget about to and a noun, right? After it. In addition to something, we need a noun after. Moreover and furthermore are also usually used at the beginning of sentences, and they usually add more important information, right? So something that you feel adds to your argument, but is even more important than your previous than the previous thing that you said. What's more is very similar. Again, we usually use it at the beginning of a sentence, and it usually adds surprising information, right? Like, what's more, it's blah, 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 right? Like, wow, okay. Besides, acts very differently to in addition to, but it can also mean quite the opposite, apart from, right? So besides is a very interesting word. It is quite difficult if you haven't seen the usage, right? The word in actual sentences, but we will do that, no problem. Also means in addition or just to, right? So again, it can be used as just to, like I also like ice cream, yeah, or I like ice cream too. The same thing, right? And as well as adds information in a very easy way. The hard thing is to remember about both of these as, right? And we need a noun after it. As well as, I don't know, we need the hotel as well as the tickets, right? As well as plus noun. Very easy. Okay, I'd like to add a couple of examples to besides so that we can understand these two very different meanings better. They're not in my presentation, so let me just think for a second. For example, we can say, let's imagine that somebody is going on a trip and they don't want to go, right? Because it's a business trip and they have to work a lot during the trip. So we can say it's a great opportunity to do what? To get better at your job, right? Get better at your job. Besides, you will see Paris, right? How amazing is that? In this case, besides acts as in addition to, right? In addition, you will see Paris. Additionally, you'll see Paris, right? Besides, you will see Paris, right? Like, why do you not want to go? Are you crazy? But it can also mean apart from, right? Like I've said before. Let's take another example. Um, everybody was having fun besides Mary, right? That means that Mary wasn't having fun. Yeah, you can see here that we use them in different ways, right? In addition to, we use a clause after it, right? Besides, you will see Paris, whole sentence here. And besides a noun or besides a name, right? That means apart from. Everybody was having fun besides Mary. All right, I hope we got it. Let's move on to everything in 30 through 36. Guys, actually, the most difficult part in 30 through 36 is actually seeing those connections, right? So seeing if you have contrast there, or addition, or result, or what is it, right? That's the most difficult part, not knowing how to use them grammatically, all of these words, but actually using your logic, right? Understanding what you have in the text and putting the right word into the gap. Usually there are different connecting phrases in the list, right? So not only for on contrast, and you need to choose the right one. Usually there are like different kinds of them, right? One is for reason, one is for addition, two are for contrast, different sets. Let's try it together. Tourists always want to visit Concord by electric train. They also want to see the homes of American writers, Hawthorne, Emerson, and Thoreau. Blah, blah, blah. Concord is the place that everybody likes to visit. What is the connection here? We have therefore, although, moreover, and however. What do we need here? Okay, I can see one. Do we all agree? One or three, Elizaveta? Uh-huh. Okay, so yeah, one or three, I understand. Let's see. Therefore is for result, right? Although is for contrast. Moreover is for addition. And however is for contrast as well, right? So let's see what we have here. Tourists always want to visit Concord by electric train. Very strange sentence. Visit by, okay, maybe go to Concord by electric train would be better, right? They also want to see the homes of American writers. So this sentence, they also want, adds information to the previous one, right? This is addition. And then we have Concord is the place that everybody likes to visit. Guys, does this sentence add to the previous information, or is it the result of the previous information? Of course, it's the result. Yes, it's number one. Therefore, it's definitely not contrast, right? Yes, we do need therefore here, because this last sentence is like the accumulation of all the reasons that we mentioned, right? They want to visit that electric train, they want to see the homes, so Concord is the place that everybody likes to visit, right? We need therefore here. You are absolutely right. Good job. Okay, one more. I don't like wearing warm clothes. I have to wear them when it's cold. Same options here, yeah? Now, what do we think? Yes, 4. Very good. Guys, you got it. Okay, why 4? Why, however? We have I don't like wearing warm clothes. That's no, right? Then we have a period, and then we have however, yes, right? Contrast. Then we have two sentences, and however contrasts those two sentences, right? However connects the sentences that are in contrast to each other. Very good job, guys. Moving on. Just starring in a few films, she is also the lead singer. Sorry, that's a misprint. In a band. In a band. Moreover to, also to, besides to, or in addition to. What do we think? No, sorry. In 30 through 36, only one option is correct. It's not possible for two to be okay. That's the way that the tasks are designed. Right. Yeah, it's four. And yes, absolutely, it is because of two. And guys, yeah, that's another thing that we should be very aware of, right? Being attentive here, right? We do need to see all the things around our gap. Yeah, it's really important to see even small words like two. Yeah, because they decide our fate, right? They decide if we get the right answer or not. In addition to, that's the only connecting phrase that we can use with to after our gap, right? So that's the only correct one. All right, do we have one more? Yes, we do. Here we go. We don't have that much money. We won't take a holiday this year. Due to, since, despite, or although. What do we think? We got two for reason and two for contrast. So, okay, I can see two. And another one. Yes, guys, absolutely. You're making me happy today. You got it. Okay, since we don't have that much money, we won't take a holiday this year, right? This is the reason for us not taking a holiday this year, right? So since is the right connecting phrase for reason because due to needs a clause. Oh, sorry, needs a noun after itself or the fact that and only after a clause, right? We can't use it here because we have a clause right after our gap. We don't have, right? And well, of course, 3 and 4 are wrong because they are for contrast and we don't have contrast between our two clauses, right? Good job. Well done. Thank you, guys. That was amazing. All right, now we're moving on to a couple of words about our school and about our course, right? Switching to Russian here gradually. Please forgive me for my bad Russian. So, guys, подготовка к ЕГЭ по английскому в нашей школе это сейчас 3 месяца, но на самом деле это все время, которое осталось у нас до экзамена. Занятия идут вплоть до экзамена. Все время, которое у нас есть, используем по максимуму. 20-25 уроков — это лекции и семинары. Плюс у нас также есть разговорный клуб по английскому языку, который я готова рекламировать абсолютно бесконечно, потому что это отличная возможность разговориться, преодолеть вот этот страх разговаривать с другими людьми на английском, да, чтобы вот не было, ну не чтобы не было, а чтобы преодолеть его, да. Этот страх, он не как страх паучков, да, которых я боюсь просто невероятно. Хотя, наверное, может быть даже и такой же это страх. Если я буду все время смотреть на паучков, я к ним привыкну. И точно так же здесь. Если вы будете периодически не периодически, а regularly, регулярно говорить на английском языке, вам перестанет быть страшно. Ам, да, соответственно, больше, чем 2 раза в неделю занятия, на самом деле, но 2 раза в неделю занятия такие, базовые по именно экзамену. 10-15 домашних заданий. Домашние задания после каждой лекции, чтобы у вас была возможность, собственно, потренироваться самостоятельно в том, что вы только что изучили, и прийти на семинар уже подготовленными к практике с преподавателем. Семинары — это живые вебинары, на которые вы приходите, на которых вы можете задать все свои вопросы, пообщаться с одногруппниками, с преподавателем, практиковаться вместе. Пробное ЕГЭ ежемесячно упоминала уже сегодня. Покажу, как выглядят результаты такого пробного ЕГЭ для вас, для студентов. И да, конечно, последний пункт — подробная проверка сложных задач с развернутой обратной связью. Все задания с развернутым ответом, то есть 37-38, да, email и written statement, вся устная часть всегда возвращается к вам с обратной связью от преподавателей. Вопрос, конечно, можно задать вопрос. Я тут, чтобы отвечать на вопросы. Я очень люблю вопросы. Пожалуйста, задавайте. По вот этому слайду вопрос или по теме сегодняшний вопрос? Ага, замечательный вопрос. Можно ли смотреть наши вебинары сейчас, если вы в 10 классе? Ребят, я просто обожаю, когда ребята начинают заниматься не в 11 классе, а в 10, потому что в таком случае у вас сильно больше времени, ну, в 2 раза, да, больше времени, чем у 11-классников, чтобы подготовиться к экзамену. Конечно, можно. Я бы даже сказала, что нужно. Возможно, в 10 классе вебинары будут казаться вам чуть более сложными, чем когда вы уже в 11, но это отличная возможность для того, чтобы подготовиться и быть уверенным в себе, когда экзамен уже вот-вот подходит. 10 класс — это замечательное время, чтобы начать готовиться к ЕГЭ, потому что, ну, у вас реально гораздо больше времени для этого. И, ну, исследования и практика, и опыт показывают, что если начать готовиться в 11, то вы успеваете пройти всю программу только 1 раз, да, и к концу вашего обучения уже забывается половина из того, что вам нужно. А если сделать это 2 раза, то наш мозг такой: так, я понял, это я уже где-то видел, это я точно запомню. Поэтому, когда вы повторяете, чем больше раз вы повторяете своему мозгу что-то, что ему нужно, тем больше вероятность, что он что-то запомнит. Да, поэтому да, конечно, в 10 классе тоже можно смотреть наши вебинары, и это очень хорошая идея. Гораздо лучше, чем начинать готовиться к экзамену только в 11 классе. Особенно если с английским вы дружили не всегда. Если начали интересоваться не так давно, если начали изучать не так давно. Чем больше времени вы уделите подготовке к ЕГЭ, тем лучше. Тем больше шансов у вас получить заветную соточку. Ответила ли я на вопрос? Надеюсь, что да. Если есть вопросы еще, пожалуйста, не стесняйтесь и задавайте. А мы пока продолжим. Интерактивная платформа для подготовки. Это, собственно, сайт или приложение, в котором у вас есть все, что вам нужно для подготовки к экзамену по предмету, который вы выбрали. Да, это все лекции, это все семинары, это домашки, ежемесячные пробники, все в одном месте. Удобное расписание и список дел. Вот, собственно, справа на слайде видно, как это выглядит на телефоне. Да, вот у вас конкретно прям даты в неделя 18-25 февраля, да, в понедельник у нас там вот литература, в среду химия, в пятницу математика, все расписано, всегда подписано, сколько времени займет у вас урок, да, сколько заданий в домашке, все очень удобно. Интерактивные уроки на телефоне тоже выглядят вот так. Проходить можно уроки как с телефона, так и с компьютера, что ну, супер удобно, да, в настоящее время в современном мире. А, Вы видите здесь, как это выглядит. Вот тут у вас, значит, видосик лежит, который надо посмотреть. Опять же, время всегда указано, и мы всегда стараемся делать видео, ну, не больше 15 минут, да, чтобы вам не целый урок залить в голову просто за один раз, а по кусочкам его дать. В одном уроке всегда несколько видео. Вот тут вот их можно посмотреть, да? 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. Ну, в некоторых уроках бывает и 8 глав, в некоторых всего 4. Зависит от темы, да, и от ее, как это по-русски, обширности, наверное. Вот, а после каждого видосика у вас есть задания, в которых вы, собственно, можете попрактиковать то, что вы только что изучили на практике. Что очень важно и очень клево, на самом деле, получать вот эту порционную информацию и сразу же отрабатывать ее на практике. Я прям очень советую, мне кажется, это замечательно. Также есть конспекты, что тоже супер важно. Если вы что-то вдруг забыли, то гораздо удобнее открыть конспект и найти информацию из урока там, чем пересматривать все видео, да. Особенно если вы не помните, какое именно видео вот из 8 это было, да, в конспекте есть сжатая информация в текстовом виде обо всем, что было в этих видео, обо всем важном, что было в них. Идем дальше. Домашки с быстрой проверкой. Да, не нужно ждать, пока преподаватель проверит, если это, ну, какие-то простые задания с выбором ответа или с коротким ответом, вы сразу же увидите, правильный ваш ответ или нет, а также почему он неправильный или почему он правильный, да, то есть все объяснения всегда есть у каждого задания, чтобы вы могли все правила, которые вы только что изучили в уроке, потом отпрактиковали в заданиях, здесь еще раз увидеть, если вдруг у вас что-то не получилось или вы что-то не поняли. Да, всегда есть пояснение. Это очень важно. Практические семинары, тоже уже упомянула их. Это живое общение, да, с видеопреподавателем. Вы можете включать видео или не включать видео, как вам удобно. Единственное, что с микрофоном, конечно, работать гораздо удобнее и быстрее, поэтому если есть возможность работать с микрофоном, ну, в плане, да, просто с телефона, в каждом телефоне есть микрофон, если вы разговариваете с другими людьми по телефону. Вот, с микрофоном работать удобнее, чем просто в чате, но и чат тоже есть на наших практических семинарах. Все для удобства студентов и преподавателей. Ежемесячные пробники. Обещала показать, как они выглядят, как выглядят результаты. Вот здесь скриншот с результатами пробника, которые еще проверены не до конца. Что это значит? Смотрите, вот где-то точечки закрашенные, точечки не закрашенные. Это задания с автоматической проверкой, то есть простые задания с выбором ответа или с коротким ответом, который проверил компьютер и сразу вам сказал, где у вас правильные ответы, а где нет. А вот эти вот задания, где написано «проверяем», это значит, что вы только что завершили этот тест, а задания были с развернутым ответом, который компьютер проверить не может так, как нам нужно. Поэтому эти задания проверяет преподаватель. Вам нужно будет чуть-чуть подождать, обычно это день или два, пока преподаватель проверит эти ваши задания и даст вам развернутую обратную связь по ним. Тогда вам придет обновление, просто уведомление в Телеграме, да, с тем, что ваши результаты обновлены. Вы зайдете вот сюда и увидите здесь уже свои полные результаты и всю обратную связь от преподавателя. Пока 30 баллов из 54, да, а 15 баллов мы еще проверяем. И после того, как преподаватель проверит вашу работу полностью, баллы обновятся, и вы увидите уже конечный результат со всеми комментариями преподавателя, который проверил. Вот. Удобные чаты с преподавателями, да, конечно, с преподавателем мы общаемся не только на занятиях, да, не только на живых семинарах. Им еще можно в любой момент времени написать в чатике в Телеграме и получить ответ на какой-то вопрос, который у вас возник во время просмотра лекции или во время выполнения домашки, если что-то осталось непонятным или что-то, может быть, вдруг работает не так, как вам бы хотелось или как нужно. Всегда об этом можно поговорить с преподавателем или с куратором, и вам обязательно помогут. Система уведомлений, чтобы вы никогда ничего не забывали, да, бывает случайно что-то пропустить, система уведомлений не позволяет этого сделать. Напоминает вам всегда о вебинарах, о том, что вы что-то пропустили или что-то забыли, или вот-вот подойдет дедлайн выполнения пробника, например. Система уведомлений обязательно в этом поможет. Ну и, ребят, самое приятное. Сейчас проходит акция при покупке 2 предметов для подготовки. Еще 2 вы получаете в подарок. Что, ну, вообще, по-моему, очень generous, щедро, да, но мы очень действительно хотим, чтобы как можно больше ребят смогли подготовиться к ЕГЭ и ГОГЭ, успешно сдать экзамены и осуществить все свои academic dreams, да, мечты по обучению и образованию. Это новые группы, да, то есть вы не присоединяетесь к группе, которая уже с сентября занимается, и вдруг оказываетесь посередине курса, в котором много всего непонятного и вам много нужно наверстать, а мы создаем новые группы для ребят, у которых осталось меньше времени. Это более сжатый материал, к сожалению, конечно, это более ускоренный темп, да, потому что времени осталось до экзаменов совсем мало, но это все еще шанс отлично подготовиться к экзамену, да. Вся важная, вся нужная информация есть в нем, и это точно такие же живые вебинары с преподавателем, да. Ну, в общем, это все то же самое, только вы начинаете новую группу. 2,5 месяца обучения. На самом деле зависит от даты экзамена, да. Еще раз повторюсь, мы занимаемся вплоть до самого экзамена, да. То есть во вторник у вас экзамен, в понедельник у вас все еще может быть занятие, чтобы в последний раз надышаться перед смертью, повторить все самое важное и нужное, ну и просто получить, не знаю, добрые слова и вдохновение от преподавателей и одногруппников. Поддержка эмоциональная — это тоже важно, и мы тоже это понимаем. 3 занятия в неделю плюс домашка, плюс, напоминаю про разговорный клуб. Он входит в наш общий курс, за него не нужно отдельно платить, и это просто прекрасная возможность начать или продолжить, или improve, совершенствоваться в речи, в английской речи, да, в свободной речи. Ребят, всех очень жду на занятиях в нашей школе. Это действительно прекрасный шанс подготовиться к экзаменам, прекрасный шанс сделать свой английский лучше, начать общаться на нем, понять наконец-таки грамматику, да, выучить новую лексику и, в принципе, improve all your skills, right? Reading, listening, we work on all of them. Поставьте, пожалуйста, лайк, подпишитесь на наш канал, если вам понравилась сегодняшняя трансляция. Это очень-очень важно для нас и для алгоритмов Ютуба, и для вас, на самом деле, тоже. Если вам понравилась эта трансляция, вы будете видеть больше наших материалов, если подпишетесь на наш канал. Спасибо большое. Очень рада была сегодня с вами пообщаться. Спасибо за работу, спасибо за участие. Увидимся, когда увидимся. See you when I see you. Bye, guys. Thank you.